It's your girl, Tina Marie J. Welcome to my channel. If you do like my channel and you've watched a few videos and you're like, you know what, I'm kind of feeling this chick. I think I want to see more of what she has to say. Then do subscribe. And if you like this video, then make sure you do press the thumbs up button because it does help on the algorithm and all this stuff with YouTube so people can see my videos and I could stay on like that first page. But anyway, thank you. Appreciate that in advance. So, how you guys doing? I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're enjoying this holiday season. You're not stressing out because honestly, guys, don't stress out. The biggest gift that we can give anyone is ourselves. Yes, 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 yes. All right, so don't freak out if you can't afford this PS5 or this new Xbox thingy that just came out. Don't don't feel don't feel any type of way. All right, because honestly, the most important thing is that we're with our family, we're with people that we really love, and they're with us because we need each other at the end of the day. All right, so that's what's most important. That's what's most important. Anyway, so getting on with this video, thank you for joining. So we haven't talked about the ICOC in a while, but someone in one of like in the comment section of one of my older videos, I was just looking through the comments the other day, and they was a ICOC member, and it was on one of my videos about how the ICOC recruits, and they said it's not that they're being urgent in recruiting people, it's that they're fired up for God. So I looked in my little notebook that I where I write all my ideas for what I want to talk about in the channel, and I totally forgot that I actually wanted to talk about this whole thing because yeah, let's just talk about it. So, all right. So, you may be here because you are an ex-ICOC member, which stands for the International Churches of Christ, which is a religious cult, a Christian cult. Okay. Or you may be here because you just happened to Google them and found my channel and this video popped up, and um, you probably are thinking, oh, they're kind of funny. Like they stopped me at school the other day. I was walking to my next class on campus, or they stopped me in the mall and I just felt kind of funny. So I decided to Google it, and then look who pops up with these videos. All right. So you may be here for whatever reason, but I'm sure you're here because you know who the ICOC is. All right. So I'm pretty sure you know the whole fired up for God that. Okay, so there are a lot of trigger words that the ICOC use, and fired up for God is definitely one of them. So, in my knowledge of what I've been researching on cults and how they work, most cults, pretty much all cults, do use certain trigger words. They have their own words, which it's like they all use the same kind of terminology, but it's specifically theirs. It's exclusively it's theirs, all right, because you don't really hear it like that. I've never heard anyone else tell me they was fired up for God as much as I've heard people in the ICOC say it for every single thing. They're fired up for everything. All right, so they may say that they're fired up for God, and that's the reason why they go so hard in recruiting. So, first of all, let's just talk a little bit about the way that the church recruits people. If you're in college and you're in campus, they do college campus recruitments. That's like their favorite top one to do because of the fact that you are an easy target. So you're easy to manipulate and mold and shape. All right. They will tell you that I'm crazy. I don't know what I'm talking about and I'm bitter. And let me tell you, I'm 100% correct. And I'm not saying that in a cocky way. I'm saying because I've experienced it and so many people have experienced it. So if you really need proof, just look in my comment section. All right. And look on YouTube and you'll see other videos that are out there that are exposing this cult. I just bring awareness because I feel everyone deserves to know what they're into. All right, so they use this tactic, and so when they say that they're fired up for God, what they really mean is that they're so excited that they feel like you have every right to join in on the fun because they're their own special group of people, and if you are not a part of their group, you're not saved. And so they're so gracious They have to stop you on campus and stop you in the mall and stop you in Starbucks because they really want to study with you. They really, really want to study the Bible with you. So that is probably something you've already experienced. So now let's move on. All right. When they say that they're not being urgent, but you feel like it's urgency, they're being urgent. They will not say that they're being urgent. They won't use that word because it comes off as desperation. They don't want to sound desperate because they don't want to sound like they're doing it for the wrong reason. But don't you see the flip side to it? They are desperate. They're desperate to keep the numbers up. They do get a lot of money in that church. They are desperate to have recruitments. They're desperate to have people baptized. If you don't think they're desperate, go there for a month and tell me exactly how long it takes within that entire month. How long did it take before somebody says something to you about doing studies and getting baptized? Go in there and let it be known that you're going as a guest. And please do tell me how long it takes before someone's in your face trying to study the Bible with you, trying to quote unquote hang out with you, which is really a disguise as talking to you about the Bible. Tell me how long it takes, and yeah, get back to me on that. I'm not saying that's not possible. I'm not saying that no ICOC church is great. All I'm saying is let's just be real with ourselves and be honest, okay? And videos like this is why some people on here really don't like me, but I'm cool with it because I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I never said I was trying to be. All right, so let's move on. So is it urgent? Well, how did you feel when they stopped you? If you've ever been stopped by a member of the ICOC, please tell me how you felt. I'll tell you how I felt. When I was first stopped by a member of the, well, not stopped, but when I was introduced, because I was introduced to a couple of members of the ICOC, and I was introduced on two separate occasions. Once I was introduced the first time, I felt like not bombarded, like love bombed, because I was introduced in my friend's house, and these people that she introduced me to were actually cool ICOC members, but they were trying to get me to study the Bible. And then I felt bombarded in that moment because when I sat with them and went over the Bible, they were asking so many questions, and I was the only one who was expected to answer. I didn't know I was doing a study. I thought they was just gonna do a Bible thing, and there was gonna be some coffee and some crackers or something. I don't know. I didn't know it was all about me. All right. So I felt bombarded in that moment when I realized, oh, this is about me. And that really turns me off. Then about a year and a half later, after I got married, my husband started going to the church doing studies. And then I went with him to the church for the first time during his studies. I went with him as a visitor. I said, listen, I'm not trying to join this place. I'm just visiting. I'm fine with the church I go to every once and again. I'm fine with where I am right now. I'm good. I wasn't going to church every single Sunday. I mean, I don't wake up every single Sunday. So I went and I felt extremely bombarded. I felt extremely bombarded. And I felt the urgency from the first day I went to the church. Everybody was coming up to me, giving me a hug, wanting to take down my number, opening a notepad, opening their planner, opening their calendar from their freaking purse. And I'm just like, whoa, wait, I just walked in. Like, they're acting like I'm fresh meat. They get very attracted to new members. Walk into the ICOC and tell me exactly how many people have come up to you. Please do. Tell me how many people have come up to you and tried to hug you or try to take down your number or ask you if you want to study sometime. They don't wait. They do not wait. So what do you call that? It's urgency. I mean, why not admit it, you know? If the cat is black, it's black. Just call it what it is. It's urgency. That's being urgent, which it does come off as desperation because if you tell, it's okay, this is how it really should be. This is how things really should be. If you approach someone and try to invite them to something, to join something, to do something, to hang out, anything, and the person says, you know what, thank you, I'm not interested, you should respect that. There shouldn't have to be any going further, especially when it comes to religion, when it comes to the faith. Not everyone believes in your God. Not everyone believes in your religion. Not everyone believes in your Bible. All right. So you have to respect other people's boundaries. We all have boundaries. And that's the problem, is that we don't realize we go through life and we completely neglect our boundaries. We know we have some, but at the same time, we don't really know we have them because we know what they are. Because the minute someone crosses it, you have an emotion. You feel some type of way. The minute someone disrespects you in any way, you feel like someone's crossed a boundary. You might feel disrespected. You might feel uncomfortable. You know what they are. It's just that you're not vocalizing them. So once you are feeling bold enough to be able to vocalize these boundaries, that's when you'll be able to really see it for what it is. And you'll think, all right, I already told this person I'm not interested in going to their Bible studies, but they're pushing it. They're really pushing it. So if they're pushing it and I'm not comfortable, and I already said no, I already said I'm going to a church, I've been going for 10 years, I really love it there, I'm good. Or I already said I don't believe in God, I'm an atheist. Or I already said I don't do religion, it's just not my thing. I grew up in Christianity, I already know about it, I'm good, I'm happy where I'm in life, but you're still pushing for me to do studies. You're crossing a boundary. They're crossing a boundary. Now what they will tell you is that they are just doing God's work. They are disciples and they have to go out and make more disciples. And this is what they're supposed to be doing. And they're helping you to have you saved. And then what happens is you end up falling for it. Then 2 months, 3 months later, sometimes 2 weeks later, you get baptized. And then after you get baptized, you start preaching to everyone about, well, before they dunk you in the water, you do this like little speech and you're telling everyone about how you weren't interested in doing studies, but this person hounded you in class every day for 2 months straight, wouldn't let you go. Then you went through some situation with your girlfriend, she got pregnant, had an abortion, and then you fell into a deep depression and felt like, where is God? I need God in my life. Then you went to class the next day, and then this person from the ICOC who's been hounding you for like 2 or 3 months already tells you, look, I have this thing, this campus thing at my church. Do you want to come? And you say, sure. And then boom, from there, that's everything started. I started doing studies, and here I am, and now I'm baptized. That's always how the story goes. So this is the reason why I say that there is urgency, because of the fact that boundaries don't get respected. Boundaries get crossed. Fired up for God. What is that all about? Well, this is just simply a word that they use very often. If they're worshiping, praising on Sunday, oh, we're fired up for God. We're fired up for God. They're getting excited. They're fired up for God. If they I actually had someone try to like force me to go to some event, and I really didn't care to go because I just wasn't interested. I thought that was an option. I thought I was allowed to not be interested and to say no, but then I later found out like, oh, I actually have to go to everything they have. Okay, all right, So the person said to me, I'm very fired up for God. That's why I really want you to come. I'm just so fired up. I'm so excited for this event. We got to get fired up for God together. So because you want to get fired up for God and you want to go to this thing I have absolutely no interest in, you feel I need to get fired up with you. Why can't you fire it up by yourself? Because let me tell you, I can get pretty lit by myself. Don't get it twisted. I can get lit by myself. I've learned that during quarantine. So, excuses, they make a lot of excuses, and the thing is that you have to understand, if you're someone who's recently been introduced to this group, you have to understand that the trigger words are part of their excuses. Fired up for God is a part of their excuse, and it's their disguise for saying, we really, really want to get people baptized. Now, listen, don't get me wrong. I am not saying these people are bad people. I'm not mocking or making fun of them. This is my personality that comes out, okay, when I'm doing a video without notes. The notes keep me in check. This is just me. I'm just being very honest. No, I'm not bitter. No, I'm not upset with anything. No, I'm not trying to take them down. I am here to spread 100% awareness. All right. But it is important that you do understand how they work, because either I tell you and you hear it, or you join and you see it and you experience it. And I'm not saying that they're a group of manipulators, which, yes, they are a group of manipulators, but I'm not saying that they're intentional in what they do. Not all of them. Some of them, yes. I do believe that there are members in the ICOC and the ICC, which is the International Christian Church, who are looking to control in some way, because they think that they have to. It's like they just get so wrapped up with this church and their doctrine and how they do things, that they don't realize how they're really taking away people's options and people's rights to choose and people's rights to say no, people's privacy. They're crossing people's personal boundaries. They don't realize it, and it's all for the sake of getting to heaven, which is the other excuse that you'll hear. And they say, we just want to see you make it to heaven. You miss one Sunday, we just want to see you make it to heaven. That's all. You decide that you want to date this guy, but he's not even in the church. He goes to some Lutheran church down the street. Oh, sis, we just want to see you make it to heaven. We don't think that you should be with him. He's not a part of this church. He is not a part of the Lord's kingdom. Okay, because he's not in this church. You have to be in this church to be a part of the Lord's kingdom in order to make it to heaven. You have to be in this church because we're the only ones who do it the right way. We're the only ones. Yeah, you might find some churches. I mean, there might be something out there, but no, this is the one. We're 100% sure because look in the Bible. Look what it says. Look at that, what it says. Church of God. Look at that, the one true church. That's us. That's our title. Did you not look outside and see outside what it says on the sign? True Church of Christ. And you didn't see it? It's all over the place. Like, they really, really, really make it known. All right, they make it very, very known. They always have a slick way, and they always have an excuse to slide, and their terminology to slide. And this is how they recruit. They use their little catchphrases. They take the Bible and whip it on open in Starbucks and start reading passages to you. They are trained on how to do these things. And I know that because I was told that by one of the leaders after I had gotten baptized and did my studies. I used to be like, how do you guys know what to say? Like, how do you guys remember all this stuff? They're trained. They're taught. They literally study the Bible. They literally know exactly what they're saying. They know how to go about it. Some people have strong personalities in that church, and so they can be very, very persistent. Some people have very strong personalities, and they have no problem getting in anyone's face, telling them, you should really do this, you should really do that, to control. I had a group of women who baptized me, but one of the women who baptized me, she was like that. She had an extremely strong personality. She was very rigid. She intimidated me in a sense, not because I was afraid of her, but because I felt like she knew everything that I didn't know. Like, she knew things, and because she knew about the Bible more than me, she was closer to God than I was. And that was what I believed. But her personality added to that, because she was a very in-your-face type of person. Not like in a disrespectful, but I mean, she kind of got a little bit much with me at times, but I allowed it and I didn't feel comfortable. But one time I actually did say something back to her, and that's kind of why I had an issue, is because they would tell me I was mouthy or whatever. I wasn't mouthy, but if I don't feel comfortable, I feel like I have a right to say something. I mean, if you could get smart with me, I can get smart with you. You're a person. So whether you're in the leaders, you're a human or you're not. That was just my thinking. It still is, to be honest. But when you're recruited, they start right away with the catchphrases right away. It's a mental thing. Google it. It's a mental thing. When cults use certain terminology, certain phrases, they say it with a lot of repetition over and over again. It gets into your head. It gets into your subconscious. That's how anything works. That's why when people say, be careful what you speak out loud, be careful with what you speak out into existence, be careful what you say out your mouth, because your words have power, and it's true. And people only think about that when it comes to certain things. Like people only think about that when it comes to just negativity, but they don't think about that when it comes to church. They don't think about that when it comes to something that's supposed to be positive. You go to church, I say it all the time. You go to church and you start speaking out. I don't want to go off topic because I don't got notes, so I'm sorry if I'm taking you guys all over the place today. But you go to church and you're speaking out this: I'm not worthy, I'm not enough, I'm nothing without you. You're saying that repetition. That's what churches do. Cults do the same thing. They do the same thing. So, yes, it is urgency. Yes, they do desperately want to get people under their wing. Yes, they definitely do want to recruit you. And yes, you do have every right to say, I'm not interested, and to walk away. Don't allow these people to harass you, because a lot of them harass people, but they don't see anything wrong with it. They don't see it as harassment. They see it as being fired up for God and wanting to share the word and share the truth and the knowledge with you. That's how they see it. But that's what all cults say. All cults say that. They all have something special that no one else has. All of them have something special. They have so many special things, and none of us have nothing special apparently, but we need to get it from them. They have the key. They have that special access to what we want. And this is how they get you. And this is how they also get you in a vulnerable time, which is why I say that if you are a college student, it could be easy for you, because you can be an easy target. You could possibly be an easy target if you're a college student, because this is a transition time for you. This is a time when you're transitioning. You're from high school, so it's like you was a teenager, and now you're becoming an adult, but you're not really even a full-blown adult yet. You don't really know how to do adult stuff, like live an adult life, but now you're going to start learning. That's a major transition alone, especially if you're living on campus. Even if you're living at home, but you're on campus, you're going through all these different things. Now you're like trying to figure yourself out, because you're told that this is what you have to do. Graduate, go to college, get a degree, get a job, blah, blah, blah. That's the life that they teach us, which I personally don't believe. Maybe we could talk about that sometime, but I don't believe in that life. But that is the life that they teach us, that's the only thing we have. So now you're learning all these things about yourself, and you're trying to figure out, like, well, what do I want to do in my life? Where do I want to go? And a lot of people who go to college, like a lot of college students or college age students, college age, human beings, individuals, whatever I mean, they go through certain things. I know I have my moment. For me, my father had died, and then I was in an extremely toxic and abusive relationship. I went through my stuff in those early 20s. I was in college. Actually, I got pregnant when I was in college, so I dropped out. But I went back years later. But my early 20s, I did go through certain things. And then I got married. That was a whole huge transition. So I was still even an easy target, just because I look, I've always had a young face. So I've always been I was an easy target. And so the recruitment, they pinpoint the easy targets the most. They pinpoint you, and then they'll say they're just excited. They're just fired up. You'll meet someone in class and be like, why is this person always so excited every time he's talking to me about church? I'm fired up. No, it's urgency and it's desperation. All right, so I just thought I'd put that out there, because apparently there's like a myth going around on YouTube where ICOC members are saying that they're just fired up and they're just excitement, and they're just excited and all that stuff. So I just thought I'd just throw that out there. All right, guys, I really appreciate you. I hope no one took this video offensively. I'm always afraid of offending people, but this is just my personality. I feel like we got to have fun in these videos, especially talking about the ICOC, because, oh my God, this is why I don't talk about the ICOC so much, because it's very draining of the energy. But this was a fun video. This was a fun video to make. All right, guys, I love you guys all so much. Any information about me is down below in the description box. Make sure you do thumbs up if you did like this video. If you didn't, then whatever, it's up to you. And if you do like my channel, make sure you press that subscribe button and the bell so you get notified every time a new video pops up. All right. And also my new Dope Soul course, which is coming out. I have information for that. Just send me your email address if you're interested in it. In my Dope Soul course, in my course, I'm basically going to be teaching you how to heal and how to get through life as a happy individual, as you should, after you've left a cult or religion and you've been spiritually traumatized, you're dealing with depression, you're dealing with anxiety. I help you through all that in my course. And it is a coaching course. So it's not just like something you just do and call it a day. It's like it's an 8-week program and I'm going to actually be working with you. All right. So if you're interested in that, you can either drop your email address down below in the comment section, or you can shoot me an email or shoot me a DM. My at Tina Marie _J. All right, it's right here on the screen. All right, guys, I love you all so much. Stay safe, stay sanitized. Enjoy the rest of your day.